Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Original Rebels Racing League Hardline Transport Solutions Outlaw Truck Series. This is the first race of the playoffs. That's right, we have just 7 races to go in the season before we crown a champion here on Sunday nights. We want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight as we get ready for 100 laps around Autoclub Speedway here on iRacing. It should be a great one. Got cars out on track, or excuse me, trucks out on track right now, getting their practice underway. On the tower here in practice, you will not see the playoff drivers highlighted. However, I will have them highlighted in the Hardline blue up on the ticker. Currently, Corey Hines, one of the playoff drivers, up on the top of the board. Adam Lang, Corey Bigley, Greg Barnett, and Mike Kosick are your top 5 in practice. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket coming into tonight. You see pretty much even playing field across the board. There are some bonus points that aren't showing on the on this round of 12 graphic right here. But yeah, this will be your 12 drivers for the next 2 races here at Auto Club and Chicagoland. I'm sorry, next 3 races, Auto Club, Chicagoland, and Bristol. The 8 highest finishers will move on to the round of 8. Then we'll go Homestead, Kansas, Richmond. Then we'll cut it down to 4. And then at the last race, the highest finisher overall will be crowned the Season 5 champion. Of course, we've got 2 championships, if you will, going on at the same time. The back of the pack champ as well. You can see these are the drivers that are 13th on back. All of their points have been reset as well, back to 500. So Logan Monteith, Travis Bieber, Brett Bieber, Ryan Huff, Kai Shappett. All these drivers you see on the screen right now, they're all battling for a secondary championship, not the overall championship, but something a little fun to race for. That way you can, even though you might not be in the actual championship hunt, you still have the opportunity to try to win something here tonight. As we got, it looks like about 2 minutes left here before we get underway. We see Adam Lang making his way out on the track. Let's ride along with Adam here and take a look at this tricky Auto Club Speedway, much like Michigan. It is a fast track. We'll see drivers being able to work the high line, the low line, pretty much anywhere as they want to go. And as he comes across the stripe here, down into turn number 1, can drive it in really, really deep, way past the 1 marker on the wall, actually wide open. Has to let off just a little bit using that high lane. Immediately back to the gas, just giving a little throttle blip to get that truck under control. As he rockets down the backstretch here towards turn number 3, he'll be able to drive it in nice and deep here as well. Wide open all the way to the middle of the corner. Start picking up that apex and off of turn number 4. And that's a lap here around Auto Club. Way down on the apron to try to get as much speed as you can. And that is legal here. You can pass below that white line down on the apron. Now there's a couple drivers in this race tonight who are trying to see what they're going to be able to do in the second race. Brandon Wallace being one of those that's in this race, but he's in the championship race in the Rebels Series. So all 3 Rebels races here on Intensity Broadcasting just starting the playoffs last Friday. Excuse me. We had the Grand National Series kicking off the playoff season. And now we've got our truck doubleheader here on Sunday night. So don't forget to join us after this one as we get another playoff race for the Original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series. You're not going to want to miss this doubleheader for sure, as this track honestly offers some of the best racing in these trucks. I say that between Michigan and here because they're so similar. They offer honestly the best racing. So watch for the pack. I mean, these guys, it's almost like a super speedway, but it's not because they do have to lift. Handling comes into play. You'll see passes up on the high side, down on the low side. You'll see a ton of different driver lines. We might even see 4, 5, 6 wide coming across the stripe as well. So, see Corey Bigley, one of our first drivers, our playoff driver, to make his way out onto the track. Because he's going to use that high lane to get that truck wound up tight. Charles Stevens says, "What's up, Josh?" Mike Bertosa says, "Good luck all tonight." Just getting ready for this truck doubleheader, Charles. First night of the playoffs. Intensity is getting ramped up. The excitement will be ramping up here tonight, and I am looking forward to calling both these races here tonight. As we see Bigley, again, using that high lane right now. Try to get that truck wound up the best he can. Autoclub, unlike Michigan, is very bumpy. It's got a lot of character, much like we saw at Las Vegas last week. This truck's got some character. As the trucks move down the backstretch, you'll see a lot of oscillation in the suspension as they go down the backstretch. The truck bouncing up and down. See if we can get a nice close-up here of Bigley's truck coming down the backstretch, and you can see exactly what I mean by that truck will move around quite a bit. And yeah, you see it bouncing around there, coming down the backstretch. Paul Passion is watching. Charles says, "Yep, get here to get all the pointers I need." Man, I remember a couple years ago, maybe a year or so ago, a couple seasons ago, I should say. As Bigley goes 7th. Oh no, Bigley goes to the top of the board. Jonathan Cofield just went P2. Mike Kosek coming down to the stripe now. See what he's going to do here. Kosek's going to go P2. We see in the chat Tommy Stuff saying, "Go Greg Barnett, 38. Prisoner of War, MIA Ford." We'll watch for him here tonight as we got Brett Bieber coming off of turn number 4 and down to the stripe. Bieber's going to move up into the 5th position. Corey Hines, another one of our playoff drivers, just coming off of turn number 4. And Hines is going to jump up to the top of the board. What a lap by the 57. We see Calvin Ruff down on the inside of the track there. We see the 38 of Greg Barnett. There he is, out on track right now. Just took the green flag. He's making his way down the backstretch for the first time. And I remember a couple of seasons ago, this Auto Club during the day and super hot temperatures in the trucks was the All-Star race. I was fortunate enough to take part in that, and that was probably one of the most fun races I've ever driven. That truck was just sliding all over the place. Of course, here at night, it's going to be much cooler. These trucks are going to have a lot of grip. But this track is still going to be a challenge for these drivers. Barnett currently goes 13th on his first lap. We are about halfway through qualifying. These guys do 10 minutes qualifying. We are almost to the 5-minute mark. Still a couple drivers left to make laps out on track. We see Barnett now coming through turns 3 and 4 and down to the stripe. And Greg is going to come across the line, and he's going to go P7. Adam Lang just coming across the stripe. He's going to jump up to the top of the board. So Adam Lang in the 8, putting down a blazing lap. Here comes Matt Telder, another one of our playoff drivers. Goes P16 on his first lap. So again, on the ticker, on the tower, we're not going to have any marking for who the playoff drivers are. I couldn't get that to work since the coding's changed a little bit. But up on the ticker, we will have the playoff drivers. They will be highlighted in the hardline blue up on the ticker there. So you'll be able to see who's in the playoffs, where they're running at all times up on the ticker. As Matt Telder goes P4. Greg Froelich just making his way out on the track. Just took the green flag. Awesome. Also, William Griffith in this race as well. Griff running this race to get a little bit of practice in here tonight before the Rebels race. Of course, the Rebels drivers tonight will be highlighted in red up on the board. As Griff's coming through turns 3 and 4. And to the stripe, we'll see where Griff lines up after this lap. Griff's going to move up into the 19th position. And that looks like it's going to pretty much... Oh! And Griff is going to bulldoze the wall right there off of turn number 2. So it looks like that's going to be pretty much everybody who's going to qualify here tonight. We'll see if anybody else makes their way out onto the track. Of course, while we have a break in the action here, we want to thank all of our great partners that make this possible here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, Hardline Transport Solutions for the series sponsor, as well as Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Intensity Broadcasting, Peg Leg Felts, Thunderstruck Super Series, and Kinder Farm and Ranch. Of course, there's affiliate links down in the description below. Don't forget to check out intensitybroadcasting.com for hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs. We got some new surprises I'll bring out during the race here tonight. We got a couple new designs, including the much asked for Kinder Farm and Ranch designs. So you can check that out at intensitybroadcasting.com. Of course, check out Race EPI for setup needs and coaching, as well as our great partner here, the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker brand haptics let users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus, that's what I own, is the new and upgraded sim racing gaming haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. And of course, they don't just have gaming subwoofers like that make you feel the vibration in gaming, but they also have them that you can put inside your couch or around your couch for watching movies or even listening to music. So check that out, thebuttkicker.com. Of course, as I mentioned, I do have the Gamer Plus. I do absolutely love it. It gives me that little extra seat of the pants feel, lets me know when the brakes are locked up, when the tires are slipping, when I'm going over rumple strips, gear shifts. I mean, it's got real immersive feeling. It's something that since I've been running with it, I can't run without. So if you're looking for that little extra, and nice thing is too, you can run one single one like I run on my chair. You can run two of them like Joe Wright does, one at the front of his rig, one in the back. Or I know people who run 4, one in each corner of their rig, so they can mimic each and every wheel. And you can actually set it up to do that. So check it out, thebuttkicker.com. Matt Teller says, I'm just here so I don't lose my playoff spot. As Matt had a pretty good lap, and he is currently up in the 4th position. We got about 18 seconds left before we get ready to start gridding them up here. Of course, we want to thank everybody again for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch, we do appreciate you coming out and joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe, because it really does mean a lot to us. as we are getting ready to take a look at our starting grid. Of course, your starting grid will have the Peg Leg Pole Award. And starting on the Peg Leg Pole tonight will be the 8 of Adam Lang. Corey Hines will be rolling off from P2. Andy Kurtz, one of our playoff drivers, rolls off from 3rd with another playoff driver, Matt Telder, in the 4th position. Mike Kosick and Travis Bieber, they make up row number 3 with Corey Bigley and Jonathan Cofield back in row number 4. Your top 10 will be Brett Bieber and the 38 of Greg Barnett. Tyler Weeks will roll off from 11th with Matt Kleeman back in 12th. 13th will be Brandon Wallace and Fry Hubbard. Steve McDonald in the 68, he'll be rolling off from 15th with Jamie Mullins in the 66 and 16th. Row 9 will be Butch Taylor and Ryan Huff, and back in row number 10 will be the 12 of William Griffith and Ryan Derrick. Greg Frodick, another one of our playoff drivers, he'll be starting from 21st with Calvin Ruff in 22nd. Brandon Pollock and Kai Shappett round out row number 12. And way back in the final starting position will be the 21 of Gary Wright. Sounds like trucks are just rolling off on track right now. As we're getting ready to do 100 laps here at Autoclub Speedway. Matt Teller says, I hate this track. I have no clue where that lap came from. It's this is one of those love it or hate it tracks for sure. So we'll see what happens here as the field rolls into turn number 3. Adam Lang is going to lead him down to the start of the race. Pace truck's getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. There he goes. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Auto Club. And Adam Lang already getting a little bit of a jump on Corey Hines. Here comes Andy Kurtz down on the inside trying to take over that second position. And Andy Kurtz already going for the lead down on the low side as they rocket through turns 1 and 2. Oh, Lang got really loose there on the bottom. He's going to push up the track, and here comes Andy Kurtz with the run on the low side. Telder trying to make his way up through the field here as well. Corey Bigley having some issues, but he's back on track. And already Andy Kurtz trying to come across the line to lead the first lap here. But Adam Lang is going to have that advantage on the high side and a little bit of drafting help from behind. As now Corey Hines taking a look down underneath Andy Kurtz to try to take over that second position. So as they run side by side, it's going to allow Adam Lang to get a little bit of space between our front runners here as they come down across the stripe. Lang is easily going to be out front. Here comes Telder. Thought about making it 3 wide for a second. Now he's going to tuck back in behind the 5 of Andy Kurtz. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. You're going to see drivers running all sorts of different lines as they come through the corners here as they're side by side for second place. Again, your playoff drivers will be highlighted in the Hardline blue up on the ticker. As Telder now goes all the way down to the bottom. And Corey Hines is going to lose 2 positions as he lost that position to Andy Kurtz. And now Telder is trying to get around as well. Now Andy Kurtz is going to offer a little bit of drafting assistance up on that high side. That's going to hang Telder down on the bottom. As these 3 start to get single file right behind, we see Kosick and Jonathan Cofield making their way up into the mix as well, doing a little bit of drafting to get themselves back up here as well. We see Bigley way back here in the back. Does he have some damage to the right side of that truck? It's really hard to say. It looks like Griff has pulled it down on the pit road as well. As already we have a battle heating back up for second place as Corey Hines taking a look down to the inside of Andy Kurtz. See if we can see what happened to Bigley here. Down on the low side underneath Bieber. Oh, just gets really loose there. Oh, catches Travis Bieber. Does he catch the inside wall? Just barely catches the inside wall. Doesn't look like too much damage to that 82 machine. He should be able to continue on without an issue. Although at this point right now, he is about a half a lap down. Griff is coming off of pit road. He's back on track. Again, Griff not running for points here, just running to get some experience for tonight. And yellow flag is out on the track, and it looks like it's for the 44 of Tyler Weeks. Weeks has looped it off of turn number 4. And that's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. As we take a look to see what happened to the 44. And trying to find exactly where this comes in, and looking at it, we see the 44 running way up the track. Might have caught the wall. Yep, catches the wall just a little bit. Makes some contact with the 21 of Gary Wright, and then he try to keep it up against that wall, loops it down across traffic, and that's what brings out the caution here. As he's able to get down on pit road, get that reset, get that damage fixed. It looks like Corey Bigley was also able to get down pit road. Nope, he has not been down pit road yet, so he still has damage to the right side of that machine. And the left side of that machine. We'll see if he's able to get down on pit road and get that fixed as well. Well, you asked for it, and we delivered. If you head on over to intensitybroadcasting.com, you can scroll down through our merchandise, not just the Intensity merchandise, but at Leon Manweese's merchandise as well. But if you continue all the way down to the bottom, you'll see our new Big Bushy Bearings underwear that we just released as well. Some of our novelty t-shirts. And then we have our league collections. And under the Original Rebels, you can find those Kinder Farm and Ranch t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hats right over on intensitybroadcasting.com. So check that out. I know you've been wanting them. We're delivering them. You can find them right there. Link below in the description. In fact, I'm pretty sure that will be our #1 selling item on the website pretty soon. I know quite a few drivers have already ordered their Kinder Farm and Ranch gear. So we're getting ready. The lights are getting ready to come off on the pace truck. We're getting ready to get restacked. Getting ready to refire. Charles Stevens says he's one of them. So there you go. We've already got a customer up in the chat there tonight. Hey, it's all about you guys. We try to make it as much about you guys as we can. So That's why we're here. We're for your entertainment, if you will. We take any and all feedback that's given to us. And I just realized that the wrong the name was at the top of the ticker, and I apologize for that. Sometimes things don't like to save when you edit things. Just doing a lot of editing to make sure I can get these playoff drivers highlighted for you guys tonight so you can see where the playoff drivers are running as the race goes on. But here we go. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. We're re-racking, restacking, getting ready to refire as the pace truck makes its way down on the pit road. Adam Lang leads him down into the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And we're back racing here at Autoclub Speedway. And again, Adam Lang with the big jump down into turn number 1. Side by side, Corey Hines, Andy Kurtz continue to battle for that second position. And Matt Telder, who said he hates this track, hanging tight there in the 4th position, but he's got Mike Kosick, who was just trying to take a look down to the inside. Now we see Cofield taking a look down as these drivers are already spreading out 2 and 3 wide behind. Andy Kurtz down on the low side. Corey Hines up on the high side. Kurtz is going to clear Hines as they come down off of turn number 4, and he's going to try to use that little bit of a draft to run down the 8 of Adam Lang. A little further behind, we see a battle between Ruff and Huff. That's Kevin Ruff and Ryan Huff going at it side by side. Kevin's going to take that position as he gets around the 114 of Bieber, and he's going to get a big run on Kleeman as well. Looks like there might have been a little contact between Bieber and Kleeman that stacked those two up, and that's allowed Ruff to move right up into the 8th position. Corey Hines now moving back around the 5 of Andy Kurtz to move himself up into the 2nd position. He's going to use that high lane to get a little bit of a draft here. A little momentum to try to get around Adam Lang, as Lang's really liking that low lane through the corners. And we see Hines and Kurtz running that first seam off the stripe. Some drivers running a little bit higher up, some drivers running the wall. So again, this speedway really allows for a lot of different lines to be successful here. Steve McDonald now going around the 19 of Kleeman. At least he was trying to. This are 2 playoff drivers going at it. Steve McDonald and Matt Kleeman. We see Brandon Wallace looking down to the inside of Greg Froelich, and that's William Griffith way down on the apron. He's making his way back down onto pit road. And Matt Telder now has the 3 of Mike Kosick. Take a look down to the inside as they come down the front stretch and into turn number 1. Kosick, though, not able to pull up alongside that 7 machine. And he's going to stay currently into the 5th position. Telder able to get around Andy Kurtz up on that high side. Kurtz, though, trying to fight back on the low lane. And now Telder is going to jump up into the top 3. And just behind, Jonathan Cofield taking a look down underneath Mike Kosick. And he's trying to take over the 5th position. Ryan Derrick now taking a look down underneath the 114 of Travis Bieber. Right behind, we see Brandon Pollock, another one of our playoff drivers, right there trying to make some moves. So a big spread through the field of where our playoff drivers are, as Telder is just taking a look at Corey Hines, but is not able to make the move. As Corey Hines now trying to battle for the lead, as he's going to go side by side with Adam Lang as they go down into turns 1 and 2. Lang, though, on the high side, has the drafting help from Telder. Also has that momentum up there. Able to pull back out in front, Corey Hines. But Corey, drive it down into turns 3 and 4 pretty deep, trying to get back beneath that 8 machine, but just not able to do it. As here comes Telder up on the high side. They're still side by side for that second position. Just behind, we see Cofield working down underneath Andy Kurtz to take over the 4th position. Kurtz, though, up on that high side again, trying to fight back with that momentum. Now they're both going to tuck back in line. I know I'm always asked to do it, so why don't we do a little, why don't we pump up the intensity a little bit here tonight? Battle for the lead heating up. Adam Lang up on the high side. Matt Telder was looking down to the low side. Corey Hines way down on the bottom as they were really jockeying for position there. As you see those drivers again using all sorts of different lines through the lane as they are 3 wide behind Adam Lang for the 2nd position. Now back to 2 wide as we see Corey Hines trying to work down underneath Andy Kurtz. Jonathan Cofield and Mike Kosick waiting in the wings as well, trying to get through. So every once in a while, we'll see these drivers make some really aggressive moves as we're looking to be 3 wide again as Hines is down on that low side, trying to make that work. As Telder is able to stay out in front of the 5 of Andy Kurtz. They come down the backstretch. Again, you see just how much those trucks are moving around, too. That's a really uncomfortable feeling for these drivers to have the trucks moving around that much, especially when you're battling 2 and 3 wide. Right now, your top 6, you can throw a blanket over. Not too far behind, though, we've got playoff driver Fry Hubbard and non-playoff driver Kevin Ruff trying to make their way up into this front mix as well. So now Kurtz is able to clear Telder, and here comes the 57 of Corey Hines down on the low side. And the way these drivers are driving right now, you'd think there was 10 laps to go, but we're not even to the quarter mark of this race. A little further back, we see Brandon Wallace making his way around Greg Barnett, although Barnett's fighting back on the low side. And just behind, we see Greg Froelich. So battles all over the track right now, as Adam Lang now has some close competition to him, as Andy Kurtz is up on the high side, Corey Hines down on the low side. Lang, though, able to hold off and stay out in front of those two drivers. We are coming to complete lap number 25. And now Andy Kurtz sneaking out to the lead. They are 4 wide behind Kurtz. Mike Kosick way up on the high side. They're going to get more single file here as they go down into turns 1 and 2. And for the first time tonight, somebody other than Adam Lang is out in front, and Adam actually falling back quite a bit. He's now battling with Mike Kosick for that 5th position. Corey Hines way up the track, running that high lane. See, Kurt's very comfortable in the middle as Hines throws a little bit of a block on Jonathan Cofield. And now Corey Hines is going to take over the lead with Cofield right behind. Just in front of this group, though, they are catching lap traffic. I believe that is the 12 of William. Yep, it's the 12 of William Griffith right out in front of these leaders. As Hines down on the low side. See Andy Kurtz now running way up on that high side. Cofield trying to run as low as he can. Kurtz trying to run as high as he can. Corey Hines right there in the middle. As now Cofield and Kurtz are side by side for the 2nd position. And the 44 of Tyler Weeks has just hit pit road. I don't know if that's a scheduled stop or not. Mike Kosick and Adam Lang battling out right now for the 4th position. Kosick wants it. Lang has it. Kosick down to the low side, trying to get a run down on the inside of Adam Lang. Behind we see Fry Hubbard now making his way up into the mix here. So he's trying to take a look down to the inside of Matt Telder. Looks like Telder's tires are now starting to wear off a little bit. He's been falling back just a little bit over the last 10 or so laps as Corey Hines has Jonathan Cofield all over the back bumper. Give him a push down the front stretch trying to get around. See that draft in there, that bump draft Cofield is giving Hines as they come down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Thought about taking a move down to the inside, but just wasn't able to make that happen. Telder going back around to Fry Hubbard to retake that 5th position. Hubbard back on the outside, though, trying to get the momentum and the run off the corner. He's got Calvin Ruff right behind as well, trying to offer some help, assistance, trying to get up there to offer some assistance. And Adam Lang is now down on pit road, along with Travis Bieber on pit road. So, and here comes Matt Telder as well. So, green flag pit stop starting to come at this time. We figured they would try to split it into thirds, and that's exactly what they're doing. Because you can't quite make it to halfway. That's why these drivers are going to try to make it a 2-stop race. Well, if you're watching live, some breaking news out of the NASCAR camp. The 41 team is now under review for the last lap incident involving Cole Custer and his teammate Chase Briscoe. So, see what happens there as we got more drivers down on pit road. Andy Kurtz, Fry Hubbard, Ryan Huff, Calvin Ruff, Corey Bigley also making his way down pit road. Corey Hines continues the lead over the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. And caution out on the track. Not sure what brought out the caution. So that's going to bring up a Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we try to take a look to see. Oh, that's what happened. I already found it here, and man, you hate to see it. Andy Kurtz making his way down. So you have to stay on the apron below that white line coming off of pit road. And trying to get everything he could, just looped it around. Comes up the track. Almost collects a couple drivers. Brings out the yellow. Fortunately, everybody was able to, well, one truck made a little contact with him, that green truck there. Not sure who that green truck was, but so that's a tough break for Andy Kurtz for a couple of reasons. Number one, he lost all that position bringing out the yellow. Number two, he exited pit road before he got to, or came up onto the track before he got to that blue cone. So that's an automatic EOL, or excuse me, an automatic black flag as well. So that's more than an EOL. That's actually a stop and go penalty. So now the rest of the field is going to make their way down onto pit road and get their service done. So for Andy Kurtz, that is almost a almost taking yourself out of this race without a couple cautions to fall his way. Right side's going up, or left side's going up on the 57 of Hines, and he's going to get off of pit road first. Jonathan Cofield comes off pit road second. Mike Kosick back in third. Steve McDonald in fourth, and Brandon Wallace comes off of pit road in fifth. So a really tough break for the 5 of Andy Kurtz. Again, pretty much going to take him out of this race with all the penalties. So don't forget to join us after this one's over, as we'll have our second race of our truck doubleheader. The Rebels Sunday Night Truck Series will also be going on to their first race of the playoffs right here at Autoclub Speedway, so you're not going to want to miss that. As the lights are off on the pace truck, we're getting ready to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them. So here we go. Corey Hines will be the control car. Jonathan Cofield up on the high side. Hines is going to be able to fire off anywhere within that Geico restart zone. Remember, if he fires off too early, he will receive a black flag. If he fires off after the zone, then the green flag will come out, and racing will resume with or without the leader. So let's see where Hines decides to restart in that zone, and if it gives him an advantage going down into turn number 1. But here we go. Pace truck is down on pit road. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing immediately. Hines able to clear, get out in front of Mike Kosick and Jonathan Cofield, as Cofield is immediately passed by Kosick and up into the second position. Kosick moves. Now he's going to try to run down the leader with these fresh tires. Brandon Wallace, Brandon Pollock side by side. Pollock is a playoff driver. Wallace is not a playoff driver in this race, but in the next race, you'll see his name highlighted in red, showing that he is a playoff driver in the Rebels Truck Series. As we are about 10 laps away from halfway. Cofield all over the back bumper of Kosick, trying to get around. A little further back, we see Brett Bieber down on the low side. He's got Fry Hubbard following him around as well. And just behind, we see the 14 and the 4 of Kai Shapert up on that high side behind the 33 of Butch Taylor. And it was Kai that got into Andy Kurtz when he was spun out on the track earlier. Fry trying to get around Brett Bieber to take over the 9th position. I'm sorry, the 10th position. Get himself one more point, which is very valuable in these playoffs here. As Corey Hines looking down to the inside of Jonathan Cofield. I'm sorry, that was Cofield and Kosick going around Corey Hines to take over the lead. And Corey could be just trying to save a little bit. I mean, we saw what they did in the first run. You know how easy it is to burn tires off here. We saw that out of Adam Lang earlier. And Steve McDonald now looking down to the inside of Brandon Wallace to move McDonald up currently into the 6th position. Brandon Pollock down to the inside of McDonald now. And here comes Greg Fronick up on the high side. Fronick's been showing some speed since that podium a couple weeks ago at Talladega. Could he be working himself up into another top 5 finish here tonight? Fronick using that high lane and trying to get around McDonald. A little further back, we see Calvin Ruff looking down to the inside of Brett Bieber. But Bieber able to tuck back in line behind the 7 of Matt Telder, who was running up front much earlier. Now he finds himself running back in the 11th position. As they're all spreading out down the backstretch. Brandon Wallace up into the 3rd position, trying to get around Corey Hines. Right on the back bumper of Mike Kosick. And Jonathan Cofield starting to pull away just a little bit. A little further back, we've got Kai Shapert trying to work the high side of Brett Bieber. He's going to get right around Bieber. Here comes Calvin Ruff as well. And in front of them, we see a gaggle of cars. Adam Lang running the bottom. Fry Hubbard running the middle. That is Jamie Mullins in the 66 up on the high side. So they were just 3 wide for just a moment back there. There are battles all over the track as Mullins now working down to the inside of Greg Fronick. Now Lang down to the low side. He's trying to get around Mullins. Try to move himself back up towards the front. As Mike Kosick has Brandon Wallace, who's trying to take a look down to the inside. So Wallace up into the third position. He's currently up 10 spots. One of our bigger movers of the night. Our biggest mover of the night is the one of Brandon Pollock, who is up currently 17 positions in the 6th position. So a big mover, our biggest mover of the night. Second biggest mover of the night, though, is Kai Shappett, back in the 4 machine, currently up 13 positions. And then Greg Froelich, who's currently up 11 positions into 10th. Oh, Froelich gets squeezed up into the wall, makes contact with Fry Hubbard, I believe that was, on the... A lot of damage to that 71 machine as he's sliding backwards through the field. You see damage to both sides of that 71. He's going to try to regroup, see if he can get that, salvage a good finish here as we are just crossing halfway next time by. Fry Hubbard, Kai Shappett going at it side by side. It's a battle for 9th. As Kai's able to stay out in front. And don't forget, we do have that back of the pack championship that's up for grabs as well. So just because the drivers that are highlighted are running for a championship doesn't mean that there's 10 guys not running for something as well. Kai being one of those running for the back of the pack. Now the drivers to qualify for the back of the pack championship, they're drivers who've run at least 75% of the races, but were outside the top 12. So a neat little championship within the championship, if you will. As Jonathan Cofield now has Mike Kosick, who's run him down as we come across the line to start lap number 52. A little bit further back in the pack, Brett Bieber, or Calvin Ruff, excuse me, still trying to make his way up through the field here. He's been battling side by side with Brett Bieber for a little bit. Greg Barnett working his way around Fry Hubbard, and Garrett Kinder says, "Don't worry, I'm here now." It almost sounds like Kinder had to actually do some work for once. Gee, it's good to see you here up in the chat. Let's take you through the field briefly. Jonathan Cofield up at the top of the board. Mike Kosick currently running back in the 2nd position. Corey Hines, who led a large portion of this race, now up into 3rd. Brandon Wallace currently running in the 4th position. Excuse me, the position, but he's got a hard-charging Steve McDonald in the 68 right behind him. Then about a 1.5 back, we'll find the 66 of Jamie Mullins, who's got Brandon Pollock behind him. And Adam Lang, who was your pole sitter, currently sits back in the 8th position, although he's got Matt Telder taking that 8th position away, and so is Kai Shappett, who runs back currently in 9th, and Greg Barnett in 10th. So Adam Lang has just fallen back into the 11th position as we were talking. Corey Hines now all over the back bumper of Kosick. Kinder says, work, don't get ahead of yourself. Trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, you know. As Corey Hines is taking a look down to the inside of Mike Kosick down into turn number 1. If these two drivers can get side by side, that's exactly what Cofield's going to want to see. As those two driving side by side would be running much slower than Cofield out in front by himself. Adam Lang continues to slide backwards. I don't know if he has some damage. Looks like that 8's been up into the wall as I see the right side of that truck. We'll take a look as he comes by here if we can see. Yeah, there's damage to the right side of that 8 machine, so that's why our pole sitter's been falling backwards. He's been up into the wall. Speaking of drivers who've been up into the wall, Greg Froelich just came down pit road to get his damage fixed. He's back out on track. He is currently 1 lap down. He is in the lucky dog position, though. As your top 3 continue to run nose to tail. And then it's about a second, just over a second back to 4th place, Steve McDonald. Greg Barnett, Kai Shappett battling side by side. Kinder says Griff 12 laps down. That sounds about right. I believe he forgot to put his bulldozer blade down as he slapped the wall earlier. Had some damage, came down pit road, got that fixed up. But yeah, currently 12 laps down, running back in the 24th position. Cofield still leading out front. Although Corey Hines trying to do something a little bit different now. Running up in that high lane, trying to see if he can get the momentum to try to make a move on both the 3 of Kosick and the 58 of Cofield. And we are about what I would say probably about 5 to 10 laps away from green flag pit stops, as most of these drivers are trying to make this a 2-stop race. We did have that caution that came out on lap number 36. As now Hines taking a look down to the inside of Kosick, trying to take over that 2nd position. I think while we have a little break in the action, I'm going to hand out the Cofield Asphalt Refinishing Tough Luck Award here, and that's going to go to the 5 of Andy Kurtz, who brought out that caution on lap 36, trying to get back on track, ends up looping it around, catching the grass, coming back up across the track. We see Kai Shappett makes a little bit of contact with that 5 machine as well. And currently, Andy Kurtz is running back in the 23rd position, and he is 3 laps down. So a tough break for one of our playoff drivers, Andy Kurtz, who started off the race running up front, and now finds himself in a deep hole in the first round of the playoffs. Matt Telder taking a look underneath the one of Brandon Pollock. Pollock has some damage to the right front of that machine. Looks like he might have been up in the wall. Jamie Mullins right in front. They're trying to make it 3 wide off of turn at number 2 up front. Kosick still has Corey Hines right there on the back bumper. Hines taking a look down to the inside of the 3 machine. This time it looks like Hines might have some momentum down on the bottom. But just not able to complete that pass as he's going to tuck back in behind Kosick. No, he's going to run back down on that low side yet again. I thought he was going to try to tuck back in behind Kosick and try it all over again. But no, he's going to stay locked in down on that low side. Now Hines going to run the back up on that high side. Try to get the momentum and try it all over again. Ryan Derrick makes his way down on the pit road. He's going to be the first driver to come down to start these green flag pit stops. Coming a little bit earlier than I was expecting him to, but I figured somewhere between 66 and 74 we'd start seeing drivers making their way down on the pit road as Hines still trying to battle to get around the 3 of Kosick. And still not able to make it work. This time, though, Hines down on the low side, trying to throw a bit of a slide job here, and he's going to take over that second position. He's going to immediately set his sights on the 58 of Jonathan Cofield to try to take over the lead. But Cofield using that high lane momentum, and now he's got a little drafting help from behind as Brandon Wallace, Matt Kleeman, Fry Hubbard, and Butch Taylor all hit pit road. Down on the bottom of the screen, we'll see the drivers on pit road. The way it works is if the pit is flashing, that means they're on their way to their pit stall. If it's red solid, that means they are in their pit stall. Once they word pit flips over to a number, that's how long their pit stop was. And when it disappears from the screen, that means they have exited pit road. See Kai Shappett down on pit road now. So Matt Kleeman with a 14.8 second stop. Brandon Wallace had a 15.3. Kai Shappett also down on pit road now. Hines going to try to work that high lane yet again. And he's going to lose that second position to Kosick. Matt Telder and Greg Barnett both down on pit road now as well. Skinner says Hines going to have a hard time breaking up the dynamic duo of Kosick and Cofield. And yeah, we're seeing that right now. But here comes Hines. Taking a look down to the inside, trying to pull a bit of a slide job here. And Hines, as we say that, goes to the lead. So as Kinder says, he's going to have a hard time breaking those two up. He's gotten around both of them, but here comes Cofield. Thought about looking back down to the bottom. He's going to tuck back in line. Brandon Pollock, Jamie Mullins, Calvin Ruff, Travis Bieber, all on pit road now. Now leave just 8 drivers left to pit here as we start about to start lap number 71. Cofield and Kosick now down on the pit road. See Corey Bigley slow down on the bottom. He's going to hit pit road as well. Adam Lang is going to stay out. Gary Wright stays out. Ryan Huff making his way down onto pit road. Greg Froelich, we know he's already pit. He was just on pit road on lap 53. I'm not sure if he has enough fuel to make it to the end, but we'll see, as the leader, Corey Hines, is not too far behind the 71 of Froelich. So Hines currently out in front by 15 seconds over second place Adam Lang, who's thought Lang was going to make his way down on the pit road, but he stays out. Gary Wright also stays out. Well, your first driver back off of pit road will be the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. Mike Kosick right there in tow. Brandon Wallace, whose tires are up to temperature, making his way around Kosick. And Greg Froelich right here as well. So we can see our leader is just behind these guys as well. He's just coming across the line to start lap number 73. How much longer is Hines going to stay out on the track? As now he's going to make his way down on the pit road this time. So that's going to give the lead over to Adam Lang. Now it looks like Lang's going to slow down and hit pit road this time as well. So it's all said and done, we're going to have a battle for the lead between Jonathan Cofield and Brandon Wallace. And Wallace's tires are about 4 laps older, which is not going to make a huge difference here. Ooh, Kosick almost comes up into the side of Wallace. Kai Shappett side by side with Calvin Ruff. Calvin trying to get around on the low side, take over that 11th position. Kai fighting hard on that high side. As we come across the line this time, we'll have just 25 laps to go. So Cofield out in front of Kosick by 0.2 of a second. Brandon Wallace currently running back in third. Corey Hines, though, taking a look down to the inside of Brandon Wallace. Now Hines already looking down to the inside of Mike Kosick, trying to take over the second position. As they run side by side, it's allowing Cofield to get a little bit of a gap between these drivers. Hines, we've seen him work so hard down on that low side and not have any momentum. That high lane really showing to be the preferred line when you're running side by side like this. Hines is now able to clear Kosick. He's going to pull down to the inside of Cofield. Of course, these front three drivers are all playoff drivers, so win and you're in to the next round. So all three of these drivers are trying to do everything they can to win this race so they don't have to worry about the next two races as much. Now Corey Hines by a nose out in front. He's going to clear Cofield off of turn number 4. Cofield and Kosick going to work down to the bottom now. They're going to pull a little crossover move together and try to get back around the 57 of Hines. So side by side continues for the lead. Cofield down on the bottom. Corey Hines up on the high side. Hines able to get around Cofield to take over that top position. Less than 20 laps to go here at Autoclub Speedway. Corey Hines now out in front and starting to pull away from Jonathan Cofield. A little further back, we see Steve McDonald trying to work to the inside of Jamie Mullins. McDonald currently runs back in the 9th position. As Telder now trying to move himself back up, currently runs back in the 6th position. while your leaders continue to run single file. So these three drivers pulling away from fourth place. Brandon Wallace currently runs 4 seconds behind. Bry Hubbard back in 5th. Matt Telder back in 6th, and right behind him he's got a battle for position between Steve McDonald and Jamie Mullins. This is a battle for 7th and 8th. Next time by, we'll have just 15 laps to go. Matt Telder from the 6th position says he's bored in the chat as he's got the battle behind him going on. As he's watching the battle in his mirror between Jamie Mullins and Steve McDonald. This time, though, Mullins going to give that position up as Kevin Ruff now taking a look down to the inside of Mullins. So move McDonald solidly into the 7th position. McDonald, another one of our playoff drivers, along with the 7 of Matt Telder. These three have just been kind of drafting with each other. Kinder says, I'll give you a $5 to brake check the group behind you, Telder. Nah, don't do it, he says. Though it definitely shake up the results here. Kinder, you never know. Telder's arm might itch, you know. And Butch Taylor makes his way down onto pit road. Not sure why Butch is coming down on a pit road. He might have some damage. No, it doesn't look like he has any damage to that machine. Maybe he just might have been a little short on fuel. No, he's putting tires on it, so not really sure as we have Fry Hubbard taking a look down to the inside of Brandon Wallace. Again, Hubbard is a playoff driver in this series. Wallace will be a playoff driver in the next series. Telder says, come on, Bree, caution. And then he says to Kinder, make it a 10. As the field continues with just 13 laps to go. Telder now has Steve McDonald making his way around. Kinder says 750 and an attaboy. That's the best I can do. Saldo's running wheel to wheel with the 24 of Kevin Ruff. And now they're trying to make it 3 wide with Steve McDonald, although Ruff really running Telder up the track. Telder, though, able to, for the moment, hold off that 24 machine. Side to side, door to door as they come through turns 3 and 4. And oh, some contact. Telder now up into the wall. So a tough break for Matt Telder, one of our playoff drivers, having some contact with the 24 of Kevin Ruff. And here comes Greg Barnett trying to take advantage of Ruff's lack of momentum after that contact. You see Greg Froelich back on pit road. So as they come to 10 to go, Corey Hines still your leader out in front of Jonathan Cofield and Mike Kosick. Kinder says still bored 7. I never understood how people were able to type and drive like that. I've been doing iRacing for a very long time, and I've never been able to master the keyboard while driving. So with less than 10 laps to go, Corey Hines has Jonathan Cofield and Mike Kosick behind. We saw how well they ran together earlier. Kosick and Cofield, can they draft back around Corey Hines for one of them to take the win, or is Hines going to lock himself into the next round as they're coming up on the lap traffic? The 88 of Ryan Derrick just in front. Lap truck looks like he's going to stay up and out of the way. Kosick now falling back just a little bit off this group as we have 8 laps to go. Seven laps to go here at Autoclub Speedway. Corey Hines starting to pull away from Cofield just a little bit. And as I say that, Cofield starts to reel back in that 57. I don't know if Cofield's just playing with him, if he's trying to cool his tires off just a little bit or what. Right along with Cofield there as he's trying to run down the 57 to Corey Hines. And we're going to be coming to 5 laps to go. I'm kind of surprised this one strung out as much as it did. Usually these races here at Michigan and Auto Club tend to be a little bit closer. But we still have 5 laps to go. So still anything can happen here. As we see, could see even a 3-wide finish here. For those of you not following the YouTube chat, Telder said he's now damaged and even more bored. Yeah, Corey Hines now starting to pull away from Cofield and Kosick as we come to 4 laps to go. Well, one of these drivers trying to lock themselves into the round of 8. Again, could Cofield and Kosick just be kind of slowing down a little bit to save those tires a little bit and make a run at it with a couple laps to go? smooth sailing for these drivers as they don't have any lap cars in front of them as they come across 3 laps to go. If you're Jonathan Cofield and Mike Kosick, right now is the time that you really got to start putting the hammer down, trying to catch Corey Hines and try to take him out here. Just 2 more laps to go. And Corey Hines still a little bit faster than the 2 trucks behind him. Cofield and Kosick trying to run a little different lines here, trying to see if they can do anything. But Corey Hines out in front by half a second now as they come across the stripe. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for our 3 leaders here. Can they do anything with Corey Hines as they rocket into turns 1 and 2 for the final time? Hines currently on cruise control. It's Cofield and Kosick not quite able to get anything going as they come through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Corey Hines is going to take it off at turn number 4 and down to the stripe. And the 57 of Corey Hines will win the first race of the playoffs and lock himself into the round of 8. Jonathan Cofield and Mike Kosick also getting great points here in the first round of the playoffs. Fry Hubbard way back here, going to come across the line in 4th, and Brandon Wallace just barely make. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Andy Kurtz, so he was well ahead of 6th place Jamie Mullins. As we see Corey Hines celebrating his victory down on the backstretch. As the Rebels Demolition Derby is about to commence. And he's going to pull off there as we see the fireworks going off behind the backstretch here. And let's take a look at our results here tonight. Again, your winner here tonight is Corey Hines. Jonathan Cofield and Mike Kosick make up your top 3. Fry Hubbard, Brandon Wallace, your top 5. Jamie Mullins comes home 6th. Kevin Ruff in 7th. Steve McDonald in 8th. Greg Barnett and Brandon Pollock, your top 10. Brett Bieber, he brings it home 11th with Adam Lang in 12th. Matt Telder, Corey Bigley, and Matt Kleeman, your top 15. Kai Shappett brings it home 16th. Travis Bieber in 17th. Gary Wright in the 18th position. 19th was Ryan Derrick. Greg Froelich back in 20th. Butch Taylor, 21st. Andy Kurtz falling all the way back to 22nd. Ryan Huff, William Griffith, and Tyler Weeks make up the rest of the field here at Auto Club. As we get ready to talk to our top 3 tonight, starting with our 3rd place finisher, Mike Kosick. Mike, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, great run for you here tonight. You're able to bring it home P3. I know you and Cofield were working together there towards the end, but just didn't have enough there for Corey. Did you guys burn your tires off there, or were you just didn't have anything for him there at the end?
No, we were actually. Well, I know I was driving a little bit easier for some reason. It started getting tight in, and I just couldn't get a rundown with the draft or anything. It's like the draft stopped working here, but yeah, but 3rd place is a good way to start the playoffs.
For sure. Maximize those points the best you can, getting up on the podium, you and Cofield there. Uh, it seemed like it started getting really hard to pass, especially being in the dirty air behind. Was that the case? Because we saw you and Corey Hines run side by side for a little bit and just weren't able to do anything with either one of you.
Yeah, I mean, once the tires wore off a little bit, you got up behind somebody, it would get tight, and then it was just tough to get enough momentum to get around somebody. I was just telling him down in the waiting room. I was cracking up trying to hold him back. He was getting frustrated.
Well, again, great job here with the P3 here tonight. Before I let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here?
Yeah, thank Matt for what he does for the series. All the other admins in the league, you for doing the broadcasts. It's great to go back and watch it. Hardline Transport Solutions, Cofield Asphalt Finishing, and my teammates at Bandits.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium, and good luck as the playoffs continue.
All right, man. Thanks.
Have a great night. So that was your third place finisher, Michael Kosick. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Jonathan Cofield. Jonathan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir, Josh.
There you are. Man,
Hello.
Great job tonight coming home in P2. You and Kosick, I thought you might have had something for Corey Hines there, but the two of you kind of faded off a little bit there towards the end. Kosick said it was starting to get really tight in. Were you experiencing that as well? And do you think you might have had anything if Mike was able to stay right on your back bumper to get back up to Hines there?
I don't think so. He had two lap fresher tires made a pretty big difference. I was able to hang with him, and then about 5 to go, started plowing pretty good. We having to open the corners up a little bit, swing in a little wider, but good job by Corey.
For sure, and the track really started to. It seemed like it was eating up tires there. The tire wear was a major thing. You said 2 lap fresher tires made all the difference here. What was the track actually like out there? Was it just really tight, or did it feel like it had a lot of grip, or it looked really racy from this vantage point?
Oh yeah, it was. The high side was real fast with new tires. I seen Brandon Wallace get up there and try that, but after a few laps, it just burns your tires off. So just staying on the bottom, a little loose up off the corner, having to kind of baby the throttle a little bit. Tire wear, I didn't think tire wear was too bad. I think I was 75 on the right front on both pit stops, 80s in the rear, so wasn't too bad.
Not too bad.
Pretty level playing field, really.
I was gonna say it doesn't sound too bad at all, but great way to start the playoffs. I know you want to start the playoffs with a win, but coming home P2, you can't complain about that too much. So, congrats on that. As we move on next week, how do you like your chances next week?
I like them pretty good. Pretty good track for me, I think. I wasn't really looking forward to this track. I just wanted to come out here with a top 10, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. As we move on to, I believe it's Chicagoland next week, if I'm not mistaken. Double check my schedule here. Yeah, Chicagoland next week. So good luck there. And before I let you go, anyone you want to thank? Anyone you want to shout out here tonight?
Oh, definitely. Intensity Broadcasting, you for putting on a great show. Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Hardline Transport Solutions, Peg Leg Phelps, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Thunderstruck Super Series. All the admins that make all this possible where we can come hang out on the weekends.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the runner-up finish, and good luck next week at Chicagoland.
Thank you, buddy. Hope I talk to you again.
Have a great night. That was Jonathan Cofield coming home P2. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, Corey Hines. Corey, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me? Corey, you got Josh up in the booth. You got
Gotcha, man.
Oh, you got me.
Yeah,
There we go. Couldn't hear you the first time. Hey, congrats on the win here tonight. Kosick was telling me that you were having a little laugh there in the waiting room because the frustration running side by side with him and just not able to get around him. It seemed like the tires were pretty even up on the high side and down on the low side, and it seemed like it was pretty hard to pass out there tonight. How was what was the frustration like, and what were you able to do to finally get by him?
I don't know. I had to try for about 20 laps there to get around them. It seems like I go low, they both go high, kind of didn't have any drafting help, so that made it real difficult. But last pit stop, I just had a few lap pressure tires in them. I think that really helped me out to be able to get by them.
Well, getting a win here, first round of the playoffs, that's got to be refreshing, kind of takes a load off your mind for the next two races. But going into Chicagoland and Bristol, how do you like your chances of those two tracks?
I feel pretty decent at Chicago. Bristol, I don't know how that's going to end up. That could be really good or really bad.
Well, typically the Bristol races are always kind of a wild card race. Sometimes they can go green flag, and sometimes you can get 30 or 40 cautions. But we look forward to seeing what you can do through the rest of the playoffs. And before I let you go, Corey, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, thanks everybody puts this on. It's we're going through a pretty good stretch, I feel like, of having a lot of good races in a row. Everybody's doing a good job keeping it clean. That's all we can ask for.
For sure. Well, again, good luck next week at Chicagoland, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks, man.
Have a great night. So there you have it, your winner here tonight, Corey Hines, getting the win in the Outlaw Series. Don't forget to join us back here in about 15 minutes as the Sunday Night Truck Series, Rebels Truck Series, will take place here at Autoclub Speedway for their first race of the playoffs. So again, congratulations to Corey Hines and everybody who was able to score points here in the first round of the playoffs. And as we move on to the next race, we will talk to you in just a few. So as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say,